Kraken. The Kraken is one of the most famous sea monsters ever described. Originating from Scandinavian folklore, it was said to dwell in the cold waters of the North Atlantic. Sailors claimed the creature was so enormous that parts of its body could be mistaken for small islands. According to legend, the Kraken could wrap giant tentacles around ships and drag them beneath the waves. Many historians believe stories of giant squids may have inspired the myth, but over time the Kraken grew into a creature far larger and more terrifying than any real animal. Leviathan. Leviathan is a legendary sea beast that appears in ancient texts from the Middle East and later became closely associated with biblical tradition. It is usually described as a colossal serpent or dragon-like creature living in the ocean. In many stories, Leviathan represents chaos and the immense power of nature. Its size and strength often place it beyond human control, making it one of the most influential sea monsters in history. Jormungandr. Jormungandr, also known as the Midgard serpent, comes from Norse mythology. It was said to be so large that it stretched around the entire world while living beneath the sea. According to legend, the serpent held its own tail in its mouth, forming a giant ring around the earth. Jormungandr was destined to battle the thunder god Thor during Ragnarok, the final destruction of the world. Few mythical creatures are described on such an enormous scale. Lusca. The Lusca is a sea monster from Caribbean folklore, especially around the Bahamas. Witnesses describe it as a gigantic octopus, squid, or a combination of both. Legends place the creature inside deep underwater caves known as blue holes. Some stories claim it attacks divers and pulls boats beneath the surface. The mysterious nature of these underwater cave systems has helped keep the Lusca legend alive for generations. Akarokamwi. Akarokamwi is a giant octopus-like creature from the folklore of the Ainu people of northern Japan. Stories describe a monster so large that its tentacles could stretch across vast areas of the sea. Fishermen feared encountering it because it was said to be capable of overturning boats and dragging people underwater. Like the Kraken, Akarokamwi may have been inspired by sightings of unusually large squid, but the legend transformed it into something far more powerful. Ningen. The Ningen is a modern sea monster that supposedly inhabits the waters around Antarctica. Reports describe a gigantic pale creature with a vaguely human shape and smooth white skin. Unlike ancient myths, the Ningen first gained popularity through internet stories and alleged photographs. No verified evidence has ever confirmed its existence, but its strange appearance and remote habitat have turned it into one of the most famous modern cryptids. Sea serpent. Sea serpents are among the oldest sea monsters ever recorded. Stories of enormous snake-like creatures appear in cultures from Europe, Asia, and the Americas. Sailors often reported seeing long bodies moving through the water or rising above the waves. Some sightings may have been caused by whales, giant fish, or unusual ocean conditions. Nevertheless, sea serpents became a universal symbol of the dangers hidden beyond the horizon. Yumabozu. Yumabozu is a mysterious creature from Japanese folklore. It is often described as a giant dark figure that suddenly emerges from the sea during calm weather. Sailors feared the creature because legends claimed it could capsize ships and leave crews stranded in the ocean. Unlike many sea monsters, Yumabozu is usually portrayed as a supernatural being rather than an unknown animal. Its stories reflect the uncertainty people once felt when traveling across vast stretches of open water. Cetus. Cetus comes from ancient Greek mythology and is one of the earliest sea monsters ever recorded. It is most famous for its role in the story of Andromeda, who was offered as a sacrifice to the beast. The hero Perseus eventually defeated Cetus and rescued her. Ancient descriptions vary greatly, but the creature is generally portrayed as a gigantic marine monster capable of threatening entire kingdoms. Its legacy remains visible today through the constellation that bears its name. The Bloop. The Bloop is different from every other entry on this list because it was not originally described as a creature. In 1997, underwater microphones detected a powerful sound coming from the South Pacific Ocean. The recording was so unusual that some people speculated it might have been produced by a gigantic unknown animal. As the story spread online, the Bloop evolved into a modern sea monster legend. Later research suggested the sound was most likely caused by shifting Antarctic ice, but the mystery surrounding it continues to inspire stories about enormous creatures hidden in the deepest parts of the ocean.